Have you ever paused to truly observe the world around you? The hustle, the chaos, the quiet moments in between, it all feels like a mirror reflecting something deeper, doesn't it? But here's the twist. That reflection, it's shaped by each of us. One person's kindness can brighten a stranger's day, while another's indifference might deepen someone's despair. There's an undeniable connection between what we bring into the world and what it gives back. Now think about those moments when dissatisfaction with the world creeps in. Maybe it's seeing a lack of compassion in others, or feeling like injustice is all around. It's natural to want to point fingers at the outside world. But what if, instead of blaming, you saw an opportunity to spark change? What if every frustration became an invitation to do something differently, to lead by example? And that's where the journey begins, right here with you. The world isn't static, and neither are you. Every day, each action you take carries the potential to shift what's around you. But how can one person possibly influence such a vast and complex world? Funny thing is, the answer to that question lies just a little further ahead. Change is like tossing a pebble into a still pond. At first it seems small, insignificant even. But watch closely. Those ripples spread far and wide, touching every edge. Every action, no matter how modest, carries the potential to influence lives beyond your immediate reach. A kind word, a selfless act, or even standing firm in your values can set off waves you may never see, but others will surely feel. Think of people who've left their mark on the world. It's rarely because they started with grand gestures. It's because they dared to act when no one else did. A single protester standing with a sign, a teacher believing in a student no one else noticed, a neighbor lending a hand when someone needed it most. These small moments, repeated and multiplied, can grow into movements that reshape communities, nations, and even history itself. But here's the real wonder. These ripples often begin unintentionally, simply by living authentically and with purpose. The power isn't in waiting for the right moment to act. It's in choosing to act, period. The question isn't whether you can create ripples. It's how far those ripples might reach when you do. And as we explore what role you're meant to play, you'll see just how uniquely equipped you are to spark change that truly matters. Every person holds a unique place in the grand puzzle of life, but finding that role can feel overwhelming. It's not about being perfect or larger than life. It's about embracing the passions and talents that already live within you. Maybe it's your knack for connecting with others, your unwavering determination, or your quiet creativity. Each of these gifts is a piece of the puzzle, waiting to fit into a world that needs it. Take a moment to reflect on the people who inspire you most. Are they always the loudest voices in the room? Often it's those who lead with their actions, not just their words. It's the friend who checks in when no one else does, the volunteer who spends hours helping a stranger, or the artist whose work reminds us of our shared humanity. They remind us that greatness isn't about scale, it's about sincerity. You don't need to have all the answers to start finding your role. Start small, but start intentionally. What tugs at your heart when you look at the world? What problem do you wish someone would solve? Often, the answer to those questions points directly to your purpose. And once you begin aligning your actions with that purpose, the path ahead starts to reveal itself. The next step is clearing the obstacles that hold you back from walking it. It's easy to feel like the weight of the world is too heavy to carry alone. Doubt whispers, "You're not enough," while fear builds walls that seem impossible to climb. These internal barriers often feel bigger than the problems we want to solve. But here's the truth. Those obstacles, as daunting as they seem, are not immovable. They are challenges, yes, but they're also invitations to grow. Consider the times you've hesitated because of self-doubt. Maybe you've questioned whether your voice mattered or if your actions would make any difference. Yet, history and everyday life are filled with people who moved forward despite their fears. From the student who speaks up against injustice in school, to the parent who chooses to show compassion in difficult times, courage doesn't mean being fearless. It means taking the next step, even when fear is present. Breaking through these barriers isn't about fighting them. It's about understanding them. What holds you back? Fear of failure? The need for approval? Start small. One step, one action, one decision at a time. Every time you face that inner resistance and act anyway, you prove to yourself that those barriers don't define you. And with each step, you move closer to living the example of change you're meant to be. There's something powerful about a person who embodies the qualities they hope to see in the world. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, consistent, and intentional. People notice when someone treats others with respect, keeps their word, or stands up for what's right, even when no one else does. These actions, no matter how small, inspire others to do the same. Change becomes contagious when it's lived out loud. Think about those who've influenced you the most. Perhaps it was someone who showed compassion when you needed it, or someone whose integrity left a lasting impression. It's not just what they said, it's what they did. Actions, after all, speak louder than words. And the beauty of it? You don't need a stage, a title, or an audience to make an impact. Living your values in your daily life is enough to set an example that others will follow. Being the example isn't always easy. There will be moments when it feels like the world pushes back, testing your resolve. But those are the moments that matter most. When you choose to respond with kindness in the face of anger, honesty in the face of doubt, or courage in the face of fear, you prove that change is possible. And when others see that it's possible, they begin to believe it's possible for them too. But what happens when this way of living becomes your legacy? Every choice you make leaves an imprint on the world, like footprints in the sand. Some are washed away quickly, while others stand the test of time, guiding those who come after you. Living as the change you wish to see isn't just about the present. It's about the legacy you build. Your actions, no matter how small, can inspire others to believe in a brighter, kinder, and more just world. Think of it this way. Every step you take toward kindness, courage, and authenticity creates a ripple that shapes the future. Whether it's a single conversation that opens someone's heart or a lifetime of consistent, meaningful actions, your choices have the power to plant seeds of transformation. You may not always see the results, but that doesn't mean they aren't there, growing quietly, changing lives. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be willing to try, to fail, to learn, and to keep going. Your legacy isn't built in a single moment. It's crafted through the thousands of decisions you make every day. So, as you go forward, remember this. The world is watching, listening, and learning from you. What story will your actions tell? If this story resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue exploring stories that inspire change, spark action, and transform lives. Let's walk this path together, one ripple, one step, one choice at a time.